Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of the Quarantine Sessions, where I chat to people a lot cooler than myself in the wonderful land of lockdown that we live in. Now, my guest this week is a member of one of the most promising bands to come from mainland Europe. With their debut album dropping later this year, they're destined to take the scene by storm. It is my pleasure to introduce Marius, of arguably the most handsomest band performing today, Germany's own Kid Dad.
Thank you so much. Hi.
It's great to have you on the show. How are you doing in the strange world that we live in at the moment?
Big question. Yes, I'm kind of sad because of everything what's happening, and I'm kind of proud how people are reacting to stuff like racial killing and coronavirus. I think we're proving that the human race is better than we thought, and the most people. And I think America and the Black Lives Matter movement is doing big things these days.
Absolutely.
And I'm proud.
100%. As awful as it is to see so many of the intolerance and the injustice on the news every day, it is so inspiring that all of the good people, as you say, around the world have banded together and have joined forces to fight the awful stuff going on. So I absolutely agree. I think it's been a strange year, but it's definitely inspired me to see the better in mankind as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. And in the effort of getting to know each other a little bit better, because after all, we're both friends here, we're both Freunde. And with that in mind, I have to ask, if you could be a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you be?
Okay. I was not expecting that kind of... since I'm 1/4 Swiss, I think I would take Appenzeller as a cheese first, and then I'm a pretty little addict to olives. So I think it would be very, very, very clean sandwich, just cheese and olives, and maybe some peppers. I'd be happy.
There you go. I mean,
what would you be?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's a sandwich called a Reuben that is salt beef, pickles, and mustard, and that together is it's delicious. It's delicious.
Crazy.
But sandwich talk aside, in your own words, would you mind just quickly introducing Kid Dad?
Yes, of course. We're a band formed 4 years ago in a basement in a little city called Paderborn. And we just started by making grunge music, just as grunge just rose up again, and all the kids at H&M started wearing worn-off clothes and something like that. Mm-hmm. But we were there before. We had a fun time playing detuned guitars and stuff like that, and then we came up with bands like Radiohead, Placebo, and more British music, and that influenced us a lot the past 2 years, and our new record. And we kind of grew as a band and are not anymore like just ragey. We're more became like more introvert and more dynamic, I think. And that's basically us. We're very sentimental. We're handsome, I think. We're a bit shy, and we love making music. We like skipped college and just do what we love, but we don't earn any money with it.
I mean,
that's music.
I feel that pain. I feel that pain. But it's great to hear that you're following your passion, because I don't think enough people do that nowadays. I think people feel that there's sort of this path that you have to follow, and you sort of perhaps follow a path that you don't end up being happy with. But it sounds great that you're definitely going where your heart lies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're kind of searching our hearts, because they lie on different places sometimes, but that's kind of what we put in our music, this search for ourselves, and the search for that kind of music, because I don't think we have a genre in the traditional meaning, because we call it sometimes sad music, just because there's a range from Elliott Smith to Rage Against the Machine to, don't know, different styles. Oasis is in it, and we love to find new planets.
Absolutely. I fully endorse that. So at the time of recording, your debut album, In a Box, is out on August 21st, if I remember correctly. What can people expect from this release?
It's like therapy, I guess. So it's very, very personal, and you can watch us or listen to us being naked, because we're, even if it's not that directly lyrically, it's written, I think it's written like everyone can put his story into it, and at the same time can feel what we been through writing these songs, writing these lyrics. It's only 11 songs, or 10 to 11 songs, but it's like this album has a variation in it, and emotions that a millennial has through 1 week. So it's like every emotion we know we ever felt put in every song, and there's not two songs sounding like similar. We try to make the best out of every setup, every studio, every situation. So we recorded every song differently, with different set gear, some with profiling amps, and some with real amps, some with kind of electric drums, and some with real drums. And so we wanted to make not one album. It's like an Oasis album you can record all in one session, but more an album of sitting down and melting the brain.
Absolutely. I mean, I was reading that you basically traveled the world to get inspiration for the songwriting for this album. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's amazing.
You guys are from England?
Yes.
My first trip actually started by flying to London, meeting the great singer-songwriter Bright. Don't know if you heard about her.
No.
Her name is Sarah, and she's kind of I think she's Irish, and she's one of the best songwriters I ever worked with or talked to, and she was a huge inspiration to this album. She also had this kind of deaf sound, the deaf guitar picking sound, deaf electric guitar, neck pickup style, Radioheady, and I was in a big Radiohead time at this point. So we basically just talked about Radiohead and wrote 2 or 3 songs while I slept in a hostel with 8 sweaty soldiers. So this was it was worth to stand up early and start early with the sessions. But we wrote 2 songs. One song landed on the album. Then later I flew to, I think, Rome with my girlfriend. There I didn't write a single song, I think, but I made kind of memos on my smartphone, which I used on my trip to China to record. I spent 1 month in China and wrote 6 of the 10 album songs in China, I think, or 5. Under the blanket of the bed with a 30 euro or 30 yuan acoustic guitar. Was pretty shitty, and there was spiders everywhere and shit like that.
No.
But I I sat in front of a beautiful tree, looking out on the spring campus from this university where I lived with my girlfriend, and I never wrote so many songs in such a small amount of time.
That's incredible. Yeah. So obviously you've already, experienced so much of the world and sort of made it inspire your music. Is there anywhere in the world that if you could pick one place you'd love to perform?
Because of the crowd or because of the country itself?
I suppose a bit of both. I mean, obviously there are a few sort of iconic venues around the world, but if there was a place that perhaps, for the crowd, you'd like to just share your music with, where would it be?
I think Japan. Japan has a crazy crowd, crazy people. I never saw on any YouTube video any Japanese crowd who were just standing there. Don't matter the act was such a banjo player or a heavy metal band. They just freak out because and that's crazy. They just think every European band is like kind of a rock star band, and it's cool to see the twist with a Korean band hype. So now European girls are freaking out to Asian bands, and that's kind of cool. Yeah.
I mean, my girlfriend is crazy into the K-pop scene at the moment, so I know exactly what you mean. I know far too many dance moves that I'm proud to admit, but you just get sucked into it. But obviously, no one can tour at the moment because of the lockdown and the situation we live in. But looking back to when we could play live, have you had much chance to play live, and have you got any crazy tour stories or stories from playing live that you can share with the world?
We had crazy times for our little band history. We're, like I said, we're formed in 2016, and we already played like an European tour, a small one, but a European tour. We had the pleasure to come to the UK, to Austria, Sweden, the whole stuff, and that was pretty crazy. From small venues to big, kind of big venues, but with tiny amount of people in there. So it was just basically the same thing.
Who counts?
But, who counts? Crazy times. Yeah, but a cool tour story. I think we have. I got two. I can tell you. One I can't tell you. I think one is like. The most embarrassing thing that proves my English that proved my English was worse than I thought it was. We toured with a band called Sorority Noise.
Yes, I know them.
Great music, and we met them in Cologne, and there was Cameron at the merch table, and before the show, after the sound check, we were just like. Both having our tea. He has a beer, I had a tea or something like that, and he just wanted to small talk, and I was kind of nervous, and he was like, what kind of tea is that? And I couldn't find the word ginger. It was like in German it's Ingwer, and I just took Ingwer and made Ingwer instead of ginger. And he was like the most the friendliest guy you could imagine. So he said like, "Wow, yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I think I know that. Yeah, great tea." And after the show, just our bassist came. What the fuck did you tell him you drink? I said like, yeah, Ingwer. And he said like, what the fuck? This isn't even existing. It's not even a word. And I was like. Out into the tour bus next day, I was so ginger, yeah, right. That was the one. And the other thing I think was when we toured with a band called Marmosets. They're from the UK too, I think.
Yeah, great band.
Yeah, absolutely. We were in Berlin playing the Cassiopeia venue, and the backstage they had a big table with food. And our bassist we just talked. We just had a few quick chat before the vocal warm up. Normally, I just drink a tea or water before the show, and he was like, just let us eat this chili pepper, just one, you one and me one. And I thought like, oh, they're tiny, yeah, no problem. I want to be cool, I want to be tough, so I do it. And both of us just not tasting, just down the throat. And we went on stage like 10 minutes late because we were ass cuffed to the toilet, and we were like, we couldn't stop doing anything, pushing out of our bodies, and it was like upwards, downwards, and never again. So I just stay with my water.
That's the sensible thing. If I'm going to have spicy food or chilies now, it's got to the point that I need to make sure I'm either working from home the next day or I've got a toilet that I can just use whenever I need it, because it's just not worth the risk anymore.
It's like beer, too much beer or too much alcohol. Yeah, just in another way.
Absolutely. The rock star lifestyle is just not worth the risk anymore. It's better just to look after yourself. But here at Upside Down Shark, we don't just talk about music. We talk about all things pop culture. So we talk about movies, we talk about video games, comic books, everything and more. So with that in mind, if you could have a Kid Dad song featured in anything at all, what would it be?
Do you know SSX? I think
the snowboarding game.
The snowboard game.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I thought maybe GTA, but I played it not that much. I played more like football games and SSX, and I think it would be an SSX.
That's it. I mean, SSX Tricky was always so good.
Yes.
So good.
Yes, baby.
But none of us can really plan for the rest of 2020 with the way that the world is at the moment. But as best as you can, what does the rest of the year have in store for Kid Dad?
We're trying to book a tour. After our album will be coming out in August, and we will practice every day. We will be ready if we need to be ready, and that can be November, it can be December, it can be August next year, who knows. But we will be there, and we will be ready, and we will be working and buy better stuff to make a better live show. And I think visuals are very important to us, so we work on our live performance and our live visuals a bit. And more time, more funny, and more glitchy stuff on stage, I think.
Very cool. Well, that pretty much does the list of questions I've got written down here. So the last question we always end our interviews with is, we are Upside Down Shark, and I'm not sure why we're Upside Down Shark. It's just a name that we thought up, and it's been too long to change it now. But with that in mind, Marius, what is your favorite shark? And it can be from nature, it can be from real life, or it can be from a movie, anything at all. What would be your favorite shark?
I think sharks are my guilty pleasure somehow, and there were since I were in fourth class, or in my sixth grade or seventh grade. I always loved the megalodon, but he is real. Yeah, he is real, but way down in the sea. Yep. But I think I will go the classy way, and I will say the great white. Just he has a vibe to it, and it's like dangerous, and that's cool somehow. In the sea, you got to be dangerous.
All I've got left to say is, where can people find you online?
Everywhere, I think, except for Reddit. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, still Facebook, on Instagram, and we have a homepage, www.kid-dad.com, and we have a cool campaign coming soon. We have a new online shop, you can check us out, and obviously YouTube.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, that is it. Marius, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you so much for having me, and greetings from the whole band.
Absolutely, and greetings from everyone here at Upside Down Shark. Hopefully, one day when the world is a bit normal, we can do this in person and meet up all together and have a ginger tea together.
Thank you.
And for anyone watching at home, make sure to pick up In a Box out August 21st. We'll put a link to everything you need to know in the description below. Hit subscribe for more interviews with all sorts of creative folk, and we shall catch you next time.